right? You've seen it across the league that people can't do it like we can do it. They can't do it like we can do it. And so I'm making my plug right there. Like, don't ban this play. Like,
welcome to the Way Outside the Nest podcast. I am your host, Hollywood J, with so much to say. Let's start the show.
5:45 to go. Hurts a first down throw. Hit as he throws from Brown downfield. AJ got it at the 10-yard line.
Now, on this episode is a special episode. I have with me on this episode Eagles Strictly. That's at Eagles Strictly. This man was on the front lines with me during the Jalen Hurts wars. He stays true. He's not afraid to stand on business. So it is an honor and a pleasure to have a conversation with someone who's been supporting Jalen Hurts as long as I've been supporting Jalen Hurts. So without further ado, here's my conversation with at Eagles Strictly. What up, Eagles Strictly? How you feeling?
Good, brother. We're 6-1, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. So I just want to get right to it. What were you most impressed by yesterday on that victory?
So I know everyone's going to talk about the defense, and man, they deserve all the credit in the world. But I was mostly impressed by how Jalen Hurts and the offense responded after those turnovers. I was curious, man, whenever that fumble happened, I was like, okay, let's see how the offense is going to respond. What's Jalen going to do? And, you know, what happens on the very next drive? He throws that screen pass to that TD to Dallas Goedert.
Hurts to Goedert. Blocker in front. Goedert inside the 10. To the end zone. Touchdown. Dallas Goedert.
And so, you know, it was nice for him to respond there. And then later on, when he threw that pick six, I was a little worried. I was like, man, this is the Jets game all over again. But, you know, in the very next drive, he puts the team on his back, man, and scores that touchdown pass to A.J. Brown.
Huge clutch plays by Jalen Hurts this year. And I agree. I've seen all the chatter. I see it. I've seen it a little bit this morning again today. I try to stay off Twitter. I probably should have investigated a little bit more. But what do you have to say to people who think Jalen Hurts has regressed?
I wouldn't say he's regressed, man. I just think the NFL is just weird sometimes. You know, sometimes you're going to be hot. Everything's going to be perfect. The offense is going to be in sync, and it's just going to be, you know, clicking on all cylinders. But sometimes it's just not like that, and that's just how it is in the NFL. You know what I mean? Sometimes teams are just going to play you hard. You know, it's just weird like that. You know, and I think that's what's going on right now. I wouldn't say he's regressed. I just think teams are just playing the Eagles. They're just giving them their best. You know what I mean? They just come off of the Super Bowl loss, so, you know, they kind of have a target on their backs, and I think that's what's going on.
They've got 11 out there. 4th and 3, going to go for it with Hurts in trouble. Chased by Chubb, escaping right, and throws. Open is Brown! In for the touchdown!
I definitely think that he's held to a higher standard. He's just held to a high standard, which there's nothing wrong. That's part of being a franchise quarterback. Would you say this offense looks better or worse than last year?
Oh, man, all the numbers are pretty identical. That's the weird thing is like the points per game. And so, but it just seems like last year they were clicking a lot better, to me at least. They look more dominant, but like I said, the numbers don't say that, so it's just hard to tell. But they looked good last night. I was happy that they finally got Dallas Goedert involved, and you know, so they definitely looked like they were clicking. They ran the ball, I believe, a total of, what was it? 34 times the whole game, and then they passed it 31. So they were pretty balanced. And that's what you want to see from this offense is balance. So they definitely did that yesterday.
What do you think about Brian Johnson so far?
Well, man, before the season began, I had my concerns. As some people probably know, I felt that losing Steichen was going to be big. I didn't know how big it was, but the first couple of weeks, it definitely, we definitely missed them. Especially when you watch the Colts games too. Their offense looks similar to ours. The way they run it, and it just looks smooth at times. And sometimes with the Eagles under Brian Johnson, it just seems that we just weren't clicking all the way. You know what I mean? But I think he called a pretty good game last night. It was, like I said, it was very balanced, and I definitely didn't like that quarterback draw in the first the first series. Yeah, I definitely didn't like that. But I mean, they got the win, so I can't be too picky about it.
And that's where I'm at too. The team is 6-1. It's very hard to just sit here and nitpick, but that's part of the job. What do you think about this rookie draft class that we have? What's your thoughts so far?
Well, of course, man. Carter has been sensational, man. He's a bona fide freaking superstar, So he's been great. Nolan Smith finally got his first career sack, so that was very encouraging. But all in all, man, they look great. Eli Ricks yesterday, he had that nice pass breakup. So
10 to look at that way and throw it short. Not getting there. Eli Ricks, the undrafted rookie out of Alabama, one of the dozen Crimson Tide players.
This draft class has been sensational so far, I would say.
Where would you rank it out of the last 10 years? Let's just go 10 years. Where would you rank this draft class?
Man, it'd have to be at the very top because, we as Eagles fans, we're always complaining about the missed opportunities that we've had in the drafts and the so-called busts like Jalen Reagor and guys like that. So it's definitely has to be up there, man, for sure.
Who would you say this year has taken the biggest leap for you? Just jumped off the screen.
Jumped off the screen. On the defense, offense.
Let's do one defense and then one offense. Yeah, let's do it that way.
On the defense, it's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes, looking at everyone's playing pretty good right now. Josh Sweat looks really good.
Yeah, I like your answer, man. I really like what Jordan Davis is doing this year. I think what he's doing is remarkable. He's pushing the pocket. He's come so far away. But I do think that Josh Sweat has crazy stats this year. He's done really good this year. That's a good answer.
Yeah, Jordan Davis, man, he's been a beast, man. Even last year, as soon as he went down last season, the run defense just started collapsing, and that's when they had to go get Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. He was big time last year, so it doesn't surprise me, man. He's a big guy. I like to call him Big Biscuit Jordan Davis.
I like that. So just a personal question, my guy. How did you become an Eagles fan?
So I became an Eagles fan in 2008, to be exact. My dad had the Eagles-Redskins game on. Number 5, was the quarterback, and I was 11 at the time. I was like, man, let's see what Dad's doing, So I started watching the game with him. I started, asking questions and what's the first down? What's that yellow line on the field? And my dad was a fan in the Randall Cunningham days, and so watching him, watching the games, this is kind of exciting. And week in and week out, started watching the games with him, and became a real big fan of Deshaun Jackson. And from there on, man, that's kind of how I just got addicted to it. Just like any fan, you just want more and more each and every week, and so that's kind of how it happened with me. And ever since then, man, we just we're living in Texas. We don't have access to the Eagles game, so we've always had to get the Sunday NFL ticket to watch them. And so, man, we don't skip games, man. Man, it's kind of hard to answer, but definitely 5 was awesome. Don. I really enjoyed watching Asante Samuel when I first started watching the Eagles. He was exciting, man. He had those, incredible interceptions and but there's just so many, But man, if Jalen continues to do what he's doing, man, he's definitely going to be my favorite Eagle of all time.
I did notice that. I noticed your collections of jerseys, man. You got a big-time collection. How many Jalen Hurts?
Notice your collection. It is impressive.
Man, so right now I have the Oklahoma Sooners home jersey.
I think it's saucy, man. Very nice.
The green
very nice.
one, the home
another
the
question
one.
about your
I had a
following,
black one.
man. You built a big following
I had the
in
Super Bowl
a short
patch,
amount
that one
of
that
time, and
came
I
out
was just
when the Super
wondering
Bowl was going on.
Yes, sir.
how that come to be. What's your backstory?
I ended up returning that one. I definitely should have kept it, but I didn't want to have it and constantly think about the Super Bowl we didn't win. So I was like, no, I'm shipping that back. But I've also have this Oklahoma white one, and so that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy,
Yeah, I like that. I did.
I got to give the Eagles the credit because, if they're not good and, if they're not getting us excited, then
Definitely.
I can't be excited.
And you are one of my favorite
and if I can't be excited,
and
I can't
think the most impressive
so
thing about you is you stand on
we're just living in a time where the Eagles are exciting and
you
fun.
aren't afraid to say
and me, I'm
what you
just a
say
passionate fan
and
who
just
just likes
stand
to,
on it, and that's
say
just
what's
what
on
it
his
is.
mind, and maybe it resonates with some folks, man, and that's what I think.
Change,
I don't try to think about that too much. I just try to enjoy the.
Well, you are somebody until you get attacked. So
because that's what it's about.
Keep going, brother.
I come from Texas. I come from Texas, man, and I grew up with.
I just want to get back to the Eagles
when I got on Twitter,
more on that
saw
game.
so many people
we haven't talked about the defense
feelings
yet.
as I have.
You did say you liked the defense.